What's up, guys? We're coming at you today with one of my favorite summertime beach recipes. It's keto crab cakes. This is a recipe we've had on our food blog for a while, but no one's made it and even like seen it basically because it was when we first started, but I still love this recipe, so I wanted to resurrect it, make a video for it because it's really good. So what we got going on here today is we have 3 cans of crab meat, and this is just like some cheap stuff. There's better options. If you live by the beach, you can get some really good stuff, but we don't. You want, for this recipe, about a pound of crab meat. We're using 3 6-ounce cans here, so that's a little over a pound. Crab cakes, you're probably thinking they're kind of keto friendly already, and they are. The main thing is there's gonna be like some breadcrumbs, some filler in there. We found a really good workaround for that. We're gonna be using coconut flour. Not really like breadcrumbs, but it absorbs the moisture and it actually gives it a really good flavor. We're gonna start by draining the water from the crab meat. We're gonna use a colander here. As you can see, this is like the really fine crab meat. This will taste better if you get 1 package of like lump crab meat. The lump crab meat tends to taste a lot better. Okay, so we're just gonna let this drain for a couple minutes as we get the other ingredients assembled. Okay, so we're gonna put together all the remainder of the ingredients except the coconut flour in this bowl here. It's kind of like the seasoning and binding mixture. So it starts with some mayonnaise, 3 tablespoons. 1/4 of a teaspoon of some kind of hot sauce. You can leave this out if you don't like hot sauce, but I like my crab cakes with like a little bit of hot sauce. Let's go a little more. About a teaspoon of mustard, any kind you like. You can use Dijon, you can use like a spicy mustard. We're just gonna use yellow mustard here. A little bit of pepper, some salt. And then we're gonna use some dried parsley here. You can also use fresh parsley, that'd be really good if you have it. We don't have any, so we're just gonna go dried. I'm gonna put about a teaspoon. And then lastly, an egg. We'll crack that in. Now just mix this together. Okay, perfect. So now we can get assembling. We're gonna start with the crab. Dump that in. We're gonna cover it with the sauce mixture here. Now I like to mix this together just to get this nicely coated. And then here is the tricky part. So we got some coconut flour here, and the amount you're gonna use is gonna be highly variable based on like how moist the crab is, the size of the crab meat you're using, and even just the brand of coconut flour you're using. So we're gonna add it in slowly. We're gonna start with 3 tablespoons. It could go up to like 8 tablespoons, depending on all those variables. So let's start adding 3. Give that a mix. Coming together a little bit. Definitely not enough though. I'm gonna go with 2 more tablespoons. And that seems to be like we're in the ballpark now. You can start getting in there with your hands and kind of feeling if it feels like you can form it into a patty. So let's start forming these. We're gonna try making like 4 or 5 crab cakes here. So let's grab a little chunk here. I like to make mine like pretty thick. And basically, there it is. We're gonna get a pan heating on medium-low heat. I like to cook these low and slow for an extended period of time, usually like 10 to 12 minutes per side, especially if you make them really big like this. And I actually like cooking these in butter. We don't typically cook with butter, but when you go lower heat, that's what I prefer for this recipe. So we're gonna get a pan heating, low to medium heat, and then we're gonna pop these in. So here we are at the stove, and we have a full stick of butter. We're probably gonna use about half of it. These crab cakes, as they cook, they really absorb a lot of liquid from the butter. So when you flip them, you may need to add a little bit more. We're gonna start by adding half a stick of butter though. Okay, butter's pretty much melted. We're gonna pop some of these in. I think I'm just gonna go for all of them at once. Gotta be kind of gentle with these. So these are gonna cook for about 10 to 12 minutes per side. Okay, so these are looking like they're ready to flip. You can kind of take a peek and see, that's what I usually do, but you want them to be golden brown. You can always flip them again. There's no rules to this. That is what you're looking for. And see, I'm actually gonna add a little bit of butter to the pan because these really just like sucked it all up. Yeah, so I'm gonna add 2 more tablespoons of butter to the pan. And we'll give those another 8 to 10 minutes and then they'll be done. We'll taste them. They're always gonna be a little crumbly, so just handle them with care. But as long as you do that, they'll stay together pretty fine. Here we have it. 5 delicious crab cakes. I'm gonna taste this little guy here. Let's cut it in half, see what we get. And it really soaks up a lot of butter, so you end up with a nice high-fat crab cake, and it's also gonna taste delicious because of that. You can top it with like some kind of sauce, some parsley, just like some fresh herbs, some lemon juice is good. Let's give this a taste. I'm at the beach. Delicious. Definitely, if you can afford it, add in 1 packet of like big lump crab meat. That makes it so much better. Otherwise, you're left with just like a very homogeneous consistency where there's no real like big bites of crab. It's really good. You get the crab flavor and it's definitely good if you're on a budget. This is a really good recipe. Perfect way to start the summer. Make these for your family. Everyone has like a weird crab cake lover person in their family. I think I'm gonna be that person in our family. Make this for them and I bet you they won't even know it's keto.